All right, so now we have our pasture raised fresh chickens here in a bag, but how do you cut them up? That's kind of one of the questions that I've been getting. Pre-package it for you, ready to go. Put it in your freezer, put it in the oven. I've already heard of people cooking it just plain. We've smoked our own. You can check out that video. But also, just how do you cut it up in case you want to food prep for later or make 2 or 3 meals out of this? Because really, even though one chicken will actually feed a family of 4 to 6, you can cut it up and actually save things, just doing breasts, just doing the legs and thighs for one dinner, or maybe you're like me and you like wings a little separately. Granted, you only get 2 drumsticks, 2 wings, but still. So here's a quick little video on how to actually cut up a chicken. Follow along. Okay, so once you've got your pasture raised, preferably, or you can do this by getting a chicken from the store, but what we're going to do here is we're going to cut it all up. The biggest thing that really you want is a nice good cutting board that's clean, freshly prepared. Well, you want to disinfect it a little bit ago, but do that. We're going to put a bowl over here, and then you're going to need just one little bag. You're going to use this bag for your bones and a little bit of the skin, because we're going to take that, we're going to make bone broth with it. We're going to mix this full carcass in with feet and necks and everything that go with it. So first off, what we're going to do, you also want to have a bag for your trash. We've got a bag over here so that we can do this. So this is a 4.11 pound pasture raised chicken that we raised on our homestead here, and we're just going to cut it open and kind of get it out. Right. Good. We're going to lay it down. Dispose of your bag. Okay, so the knife that we are going to use here, this is a 6-inch boning knife. We actually use this during our harvest time, but it's a really, really good sharp knife. I sharpened it up right before we started here. And what we're going to do is we're going to get the breasts off, get the legs and thighs together, and get the wings off. And then we're going to do it that way. So the biggest thing here that you've got to remember when you're doing either chicken or even if you're cutting up a turkey is gravity is your friend. So we want to make sure that we're able to use gravity to help us out here, and you'll see kind of what I mean here in a moment. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with opening up and taking the wings off. So you want to open it up and get it here, and then use the weight of the body to get your wing all the way there ready for you. Now the biggest thing here is what you're going to do is we're going to kind of crack it a little bit in essence, but really open it up, and we're going to go kind of doing, well, almost in a way, jumping jacks. So to help get the wing off. Now the biggest thing when you use your knife here is just making small little precision cuts. If you're using a sharp knife, this will actually go pretty quick. The sharper the knife, the quicker it will go. Okay, now when you get to a bone, kind of make sure what you're doing here, because you really don't want to cut through bone, because that will dull your knife really fast. But that's the way to get the whole entire wing off and your drumstick. And then we're just going to put that over here in the plate, and then you're going to repeat the process over here. Once again, help yourself. Use gravity for helping you cut. now we've got those off. Now we're going to do the legs here. We're going to do that kind of the same thing. We're going to trim the skin first. As you can see, using a really sharp knife helps you out, and you're just going to cut right along where, in essence, you can see the leg is on the carcass itself. And once again, remember, use your gravity. Okay, and then we're going to take this here. We're actually going to pry it just a little bit away from the body, so that what that does is opens up the thigh bone so that you know exactly where you're going to cut through. And there you go. Now you've got your leg and your thigh as one complete piece. We like to put those seasoned right onto a grill. Really good way to kind of do that. You get a little bit of the light meat, a little bit of the dark meat, and to really get some good flavors going. So once again, cut all the skin away, set it down, and pull. So, and it's just, I'm barely doing anything, but I want to also use your gravity as well and use a little bit of force here by pushing the whole chicken down and doing it that way. Oh, one thing I forgot about here. See kind of all this little yellow? This is the fat. This is the good fat that we're actually going to use. And it's a really good thing to help you kind of know where you want to cut. All right, that's that. So now what you've got left is you're kind of looking at your underside here, and well, actually it's back, and then it's breasts. Okay, so one of the things that we're going to do for the breasts here, we've actually, as you know, you've got two here, and we like to actually kind of, we like ours the old, what they call the boneless, skinless way. So we're just going to do a little bit of trim here on the end so that we can open it up and kind of get right to the skin. Now, you can do this a couple different ways. You can just pull back, and if you have done all of your other cuts correctly and your chicken is nice and fresh, which the day off of harvest, this is nice and fresh, we just almost can pull all the skin right back. And that's a really easy, quick way to do it. No knife needed, no cuts, no anything. Now you can cut the rest of it off here, and we like to keep the skin because we put this into our bone broth as well. So we're going to take that, cut it all off. Now you can put it in your bag with your carcass. I've seen people just stuff it right back in so you know exactly where it's at. And then from there, what we're going to do is we're going to trim off the breasts here by, let's just get this little bit of membrane back off. All right, good. So this is where you're going to cut. See this yellow line of fat? That is the perfect. That's exactly where you're going to cut. And then this one's an easy, right down the center. And so as you know, if you don't know, but the bone here that's underneath kind of splits out underneath these. So you're going to cut it first, cut it right down the center, and that'll actually help you start doing that. And then once again, you're just kind of using gravity to help you separate the breasts from the bone. And then you're going to come under here, follow your yellow line, and that's it. So now you've got your boneless, skinless breast. It looks really good. You can trim up these little bits of fat right off of it, or you can leave them on. We like to leave ours on. It helps with the flavor. And then, so what I'm doing here, kind of take your breasts, hold it up there, and cut right there a couple different ways. I'm trying to show you two different ways to do the cut. One, using the body to give itself a little bit more pull. And the other way is a little harder. This one was a little harder, and it looks like it may cut out just a hair more off here. I might need to trim this up before we do it, but that's kind of it. Now you've removed your carcass. There's not much left on here that you can actually quote unquote need to use for you to feed your family. From here, we're going to take this chicken that's all cut up, we're going to bag it, and we're going to freeze it, as well as make sure you date it so that you know when you've done that. And then we're going to take our carcass, put it in a bag, and like I said, use it up here a little bit later on. We don't have a... We would love to have a vacuum sealer, but at the moment... We would love to have a vacuum sealer, but at the moment we don't. So what we do is we just take our bags, definitely always using gallon freezer bags because of the space that you want here. And you're going to try to get out as much of your air as possible. And then we're going to write leg, thigh. Okay, and then we're going to take our breasts and do the same. 2 bags. Just because there's some nights where we're going to want just chicken breasts, and some nights where we just want legs and thighs. And then we'll take both of these and put them in a bag together. Make sure you wipe everything down. All right, so now you've cut up your chicken, you've bagged it, you've done everything. Next is you can either season it to put it away or just put it right into the freezer that way. We do actually recommend watching it. If you're gonna freeze your seal, check those recommendations on how long you can leave it in the freezer, but to cut up your whole chicken, just enjoy it. Get out there, cut it up, make sure you're buying from a local farmer if you can. You know, a little plug for us, of course, but, you know, try to find yourself something that's going to work for you. So thank you so much for watching today. From our Hidden Acre to you, thank you. God bless. Please make sure you liked or subscribed. If not, hey, just thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Thank you and God bless.